Hello, everybody, and thank you for tuning in to our third and final one shot of our Kickstarter campaign for my high school sports anime TTRPG Play Ball, which is about baseball, something I like. As always, I am Robin Caulfield, the dungeon master or umpire for the evening, and I am joined by three really wonderful people who I enjoy very much. And, I'll get to them all in a second. For those of you who don't know, Play Ball is my game currently on Kickstarter as we're trying to get it made. Shout out to you, Nightbot, for that Kickstarter link in the chat. I had nothing to do with that. All the robot. Today, unlike the previous two one-shots, if you were there for those, we are using a second style of gameplay that is in the core book to kind of focus more on the narrative moments and the big, scenic, dramatic things that could come up, rather than the crunchier style that is more for the baseball fan in you, I guess. If you want to leave more of it up to chance. So in the alternative style of play, both are included in the main game, and it uses just one dice. It's just a simple, hey, you have to beat this on this roll in these big dramatic moments, and it keeps it nice and simple so you can focus on the story that you and your friends are telling. And speaking of stories that are being told, this is loosely based on the core book's one-shot, the spring game, which I've done a variation of in the last two shows, and this one will be also a variation of that. But it's a new story with new people, so let's meet those new people. Starting with you, Kappa. Tell us who you're playing today.
Hello. Yes. I am playing Ken Connor, nickname Tiger. Rar. Growl. And Tiger is very interesting, and he's a third year. He uses he/him pronouns, and he loves the game almost to a fault. At one point, he was one of the more. Ooh, look, there's a cat. At one point, he was one of the star athletes of the region. But leading up to this year, he suffered a pretty serious injury, which he has since recovered from, but has never played the same since. But despite that, he's still trying to chug along and play the game that he loves so much.
I'm excited to meet Ken Connor. And other people who are excited to meet Ken Connor. We'll start with Renee. Tell us who you're playing today.
I mean, I already know Ken Connor. We've been on the same team for a while. We play this game together. We had to learn about each other in the process. But my name is Renee. I am playing Lena Coppers. She, her pronouns for her as well as for me. And she goes by the nickname Speedy. Which my partner Speedy may be a bit salty about. Kat was Kiri, by the way. She probably will show up again. She does like to sit on the couch when someone's on the computer, or to just climb up on the chair as she did a moment ago.
And, Kiri, the new team mascot, of course.
Yay! Kiri!
Likes to make appearances in much of the content that me and Renee do together, as do all of our cats on all of our projects. And let's meet our third teammate for the day, Speedy. Why don't you tell us who you're playing that isn't named Speedy?
I'm sorry, do you mean Speedy is a me or Speedy is in her?
Speedy isn't you. Yeah.
Okay.
That's gonna
You can understand
be
why
content.
I'm so confused.
After this point, I'll just be referring to you by your character nicknames, just to
Right.
make it extra confusing specifically for you.
Thank you. I'm glad.
Great.
I'm glad that we've established this. I am Speedy, he, they. I am playing as the one and only Phil Ward, who is a slugger. His nickname is the Golden Hammer. He's this sort of hi Kiri. He's this bright-eyed, sort of messy, beautiful, blonde, golden-haired, golden child. Who this is? He's a sophomore, so he's relatively new to the team, and but has earned quite the reputation for himself as a star hitter. And his confidence is unflappable.
I love it. I'm so excited to lead these characters into an adventure that they had no idea was coming, or maybe a little idea.
If the adventure is anything other than playing baseball, you're absolutely right.
Who knows? Maybe
Surprise,
I have some tricks up my sleeve.
Surprise, it's football.
Yeah, obviously it's the school festival episode, so no baseball takes. No.
Right, yeah. And we have to fight zombies in this one.
Yeah. You can do anything with this system, and here's how. So, without further ado, let's play ball.
Woo!
I know, I said it. It's great. Tiger, Speedy, Golden Hammer. You three attend Elmwood Academy, home of the Treants. The school mascot is a tree. There is an ancient, large tree out in front of the school. It's a fun school in Seattle, Washington, in the United States of America, for those of you who don't know where Seattle is. Elmwood has been a baseball powerhouse for years in the past. But last season, after a bad year full of injuries to the key players on the team, and some bad coaching from the last coach, who is now no longer coach of the team, Elmwood is looking to turn the page and start over. And what better way to start over than a very long, grueling Seattle winter full of snow, rain, sleet, icy roads that people shouldn't be driving on, but they definitely are because, hey, we've always lived here, so why not?
The best.
Similar to New York, except west. It was a tough winter. You had midterms. You had, this awful weather that forced you into the weight room on the days when you weren't supposed to be there for your winter workouts. You had to do the indoor stuff, so the indoor cages, the indoor pitching practice. It's not as fun as being out there on the baseball diamond. And it's especially not fun when you've spent this whole winter kind of down about how last season went. And it's a new day. It's a new year. Full of new surprises, new opponents even, new teammates. It is the night before your first game of the spring. An exhibition, kind of a warm-up game before you start playing the competitive matches against crosstown rival, the Willow Spring Woodsmen. They are Elmwood's longtime rival. Trees and lumberjacks just don't get along the way you would hope they would, I guess. There are a number of rotating members of Willow Spring, but they haven't beaten Elmwood in years. They believe this is the year that they can do it.
Okay, I just have to ask really quickly because Speedy did just make a comment in chat. I think We
You are the treants.
we are the treants.
Yes, yes.
Fixed it.
We are the treants with the cat mascot.
That was in character. I forgot. Look. Phil just forgot what team he was on for a second.
It's fine.
It's great. It's a cat that dresses like a tree, obviously, or at least a cat that loves to climb them.
Our mascot is a little cat in a tree costume that does just sit out on a leash and hates it. But
Absolutely, yep, that's canon now. So, where do you think you all, or at least the team, would hang out the night before a game?
The school roof, obviously.
School roof.
Oh,
Wait, is it still winter and cold and awful?
It's March, like March 3rd.
so it's getting back to that mild, moderate.
It's Seattle.
Yeah,
but
no,
it's kind of wet up there. It's like
Yeah, but
you don't want to sit
raining.
down, but you hang out.
it's like drizzly rainy. It's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
like
yeah.
it's not like poury rainy. So
It's moody.
yeah.
Oh, perfect.
Classic Seattle.
Full roof. I will say that Lena was pretty new to the team, and so did do a lot of the moving last fall. Transferred here at like right after the start of the school year. So did go through the winter, but now that things are lightening up as far as some of the icy sleet weather, is still just looking up at the sky with this like rain jacket on, like all braced from the water falling from the sky. And it's just like, does it seriously do this all year?
You're gonna have to get used to it. We play in the rain like 3 times out of 10.
It's cursed.
At least.
You have to understand this weather is cursed.
The umpires don't seem to think so. I mean, yeah, we've only canceled what 2 games in the past 3 years due to rain.
Yeah.
So
A
we
little
all
rain
just
never hurt nobody.
slide through the mud. And
It honestly makes it easier to slide.
fair.
He's got a point.
No, I can't argue with that. Okay.
Well, and besides, what are you gonna wear that raincoat out onto the field?
No, I'm not gonna wear the raincoat out on the field. I'm just
I mean, you can if you want to. No one's gonna judge you.
I'm gonna judge you.
yeah, Phil's gonna judge me. And that's the last thing I want.
Okay. Well, I mean, if it should lighten up by tomorrow. I mean, it's lightening up right now.
Yeah.
It won't be too
but
bad. Won't be too cold.
Everyone here warns me about the weather. That's like the one thing I hear. Oh, you moved to Seattle? How's the rain? Isn't it always gray and gross and dark?
Is it?
So far, yeah, we've just been gray and gross and dark.
All right. Well, I don't see what the problem is. It meets all your expectations.
When you have no expectations, you can't be let down.
So have no expectations about the continual fall of rain.
Yeah.
And
Me?
have no expectations about winning the game tomorrow.
No, well, we're gonna win.
Okay, so do have expectations. I don't know.
Have
I'm getting mixed messages here.
aspirations.
That makes you sound like an ass.
A little bit, yeah.
Look, let me tell you what. I never check the weather. Every day I walk out of my apartment and I just accept the weather as it is. And if it's wet, that just means I run faster to school.
I'm stuck with the weather and I'm stuck with you.
And this banter goes on for a good while. Some of the other teammates show up. It's a fun little ritual that has sort of started around here with this particular group of teammates. Um, the team captain, Kyle Davis, your left fielder, at least for tomorrow's game, brought snacks and stuff for everybody.
Seltzers.
Fruit, like snacks that are actual fruit, because you have a game tomorrow. Just regular bottled water, not sparkling, because uh, Kyle doesn't like the sparkling stuff. It upsets his stomach. Um, and a
We
couple
carbo loading.
everybody shows up, and you
Fruits.
all you all get to sort of get excited that the season is finally starting. Obviously, you have to go through the whole school day the next day,
Hmm.
and you all go home. You get some sleep. Uh, what does the night before the game look like for you, Tiger?
Um, well, I don't want to overwork myself tomorrow, so and want to be, but I still want to be prepared. So, what I'm gonna do is go home and play catch with my younger sister. She's in middle school right now, and she's hoping to come back, go to Elmwood, you know. And so I'm trying to give her tips and tricks on how to do all the baseball stuff. Um, and so I keep the arm warm because I don't want to throw myself out tomorrow. Um, yeah, and trying to take it easy. You know, um, there's a lot of preparation that goes into maintaining the status quo when it comes to pitching. There's a sweet spot. Like I'm ready, but I also don't want to injure myself again.
Yeah, so the weather has let up a little bit. It's there's still some light out, and you and your sister are playing catch. It's keeping your arm loose and everything. Um, and as you're sort of going through this, towards the end, you do feel just a little bit of tightness that you're still not used to.
Yeah.
Um, you know, you've heard about pitchers having injuries like the one that you had,
Hmm.
and most of them, especially at such a young age, usually change positions, but not you.
No, too stubborn for that, unfortunately. But no, like in all seriousness, get your arms checked out, y'all.
Yes, yes. As someone who threw out their shoulder once pitching, please do.
Yep. Yep. PSA from the pitchers. But no, yeah, usually it's the injury that I got, usually it's career ending. But I was able to stick to the physical therapy regimen and at least be able to play a little bit. But not to the same extent as before, obviously. But yeah, that every time before a game, just kind of the night before a game, just kind of give tips and tricks to and teach the younger sibling so that she doesn't make the same mistakes that I do.
Yeah, and your younger sister, um, she is kind of you're like her hero. Um, she she's let's go with Vanessa. Uh, she's just probably 2 years away from Elmwood now, and is really getting her first chances on her middle school baseball team. Trying to learn the positions and really kind of follow in your lead. she's not as good of a pitcher, so she's more of an outfielder. Good
Hmm.
arm, not always where it needs to go though. Um, and you know, as you're sort of feeling some of this tightness, it's a lot of, come on, Ken, let's keep throwing. Come on, just like 10 more minutes.
All right, all right. Here, how about this? Uh, I'm gonna assume we're at the park or something.
Mm-hmm.
How about this? I'll don't wanna jinx myself for the game. So how about this? We'll work on your sprints. You know, get that burst energy conditioning going. Because I'm not sure if I can keep going and do as good as I can tomorrow. If I keep throwing these bombs at you.
I don't want to run. That's so much work.
Hey, it's super important the running part. Okay, you think it's all about hitting the thing and throwing the thing? No, you got to be able to catch up to the ball. You got to be able to run around the bases.
You're no fun. Fine, I'll
You
run. I'll run. I promise.
all right? How about okay? Let's make things interesting. I'll pay for ice cream on the way back if you can beat me.
Deal.
3, 2, 1, go.
And totally caught off guard. Not ready. She trips instantly, just like
Yes.
stumbles over her own feet. You take a huge lead. She catches up. She is much faster than you.
Yeah.
Um,
I was gonna say we go for ice cream anyway.
yeah. It's a nice moment, and you have a good feeling about tomorrow. Speedy, Lena, Lena Speedy, new Speedy.
You can still unmute it, Speedy.
No. Yeah, I refuse.
um, uh, you. What does the night before the game look like for you?
Yeah, so as a relatively new student, Lena doesn't have many friends outside the team. Um, Gosh, this cat. And so she heads home. She watches some classic TV reruns. We're talking black and white, Gilligan's Island, Get Smart kind of thing. And then when it kind of gets late enough, she goes to the fridge, drinks a glass of milk, and heads to bed. Her bedroom is still somewhat unpacked. There are a few boxes that are like open and sifted through, but aren't actually placed or organized. And she pretty much just falls over into bed and passes out the second she hits the sheets. She's the only one at home. That's how it is most nights. But she's okay with that. So she says.
Yeah. So you're having a quiet night. You know, you eat. You watch your shows. You have a good time, a quiet time, uh, and it it kind of makes you think back about your life before you got here.
Yeah.
It was different. You had more people. You were in more clubs, doing more activities, and it's been an extra long winter for you. But you get a text. Uh, it's from a friend from your previous hometown, uh, Joshua. Uh, Joshua texts you, "Hey, I remember you have a game tomorrow. Good luck. We're rooting for you. And then there's a bunch of emojis, like an excessive amount of emojis. Just, fire emojis, clapping emojis, hearts, the party favors,
Oh God, this is awful, but so Joshua.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, so my transition to Seattle was tough in part because it happened a little bit after the school year started. Um, but also there have been some good things about it. I came from Nebraska, and uh, the community there just was not as accepting of queerness. And that's one thing that I have felt instantly more comfortable with in Seattle. But that doesn't make it easy to instantly connect with people, especially since that tended to be a hurdle to me before. So I mean, I am thrilled to hear from Joshua. Don't get me wrong. But as usual, when I'm faced with a wave of emojis, send back a single thumbs up emoji. And that's it. But he knows, like, we've been friends for long enough at this point that he understands that means message received. I just can't deal with you right now.
Yeah. You see that the message was read. No, like, ellipses or anything that show up and then go away, just that it was read. Okay, message received, that the message was received.
Yeah.
And you're left to your evening.
Yeah. I figure he and I will talk at some point, but not the night before a game. He knows better.
And with that, the scene switches to the home of you, Phil Ward, the Golden Hammer, as you call yourself. Still trying to get the teammates to catch on to the golden part, but they're getting there. They're getting there. What's the night before a game look like for you?
Night before a game, I head home. Um, uh, I purposefully shove all of my textbooks into my backpack, and take the long way home. And just to like give myself some extra weight and endurance training as I'm going. And then I get home, and my mom cooks dinner, and I kind of sit there with like an intense, focused silence, as I like stare at my bowl of soup. Um, and I'm just sort of thinking to myself, like, this is it. This is the time when I really get the chance to shine, prove that I can do it. I can be the best hitter this team has ever seen.
Yeah, and as you're sitting there, looking at this good soup, um, you you're thinking and you're just in such deep thought. Uh, your cat jumps right onto your lap, and it's a black cat. There's two or three more somewhere else in the house, but this cat in particular, uh, we'll call them Kiri for no reason other than it's fun for me. Uh,
She's thrilled. Can you see her face? She's
yeah,
thrilled.
Kiri gets to participate. Your cat, Phil, jumps in your lap, climbs up on the table, and just begins to help itself to your soup. Uh, your your mom has like let the cats eat human food as like leftovers in the past. That is safe for them. Food that is safe for
Right.
cats to kind of nosh on. But that they took that as an invitation to just eat whatever they want whenever they want, and you kind of snap out of it and sort of jolt back into the moment as your cat Kiri is helping themselves to your soup.
Kiri, no, that's not for kitties.
She's so confused.
um,
Ooh, baby. Um, I pick her off a table and put her down. Um, and I I pick up my soup bowl and I just like quickly start scarfing down what's left of it into my mouth as quickly as possible. Um, and I clean up and I go to my bedroom, um, and I just start doing push-ups, like just nonstop, uh, just like push-ups, crunches, every kind of exercise that I can nonstop. Um, in my bedroom, there are baseball posters on the wall, and I look up at a poster of Edgar Martinez of the Seattle Mariners, 1987 to 2004. And after I'm like I've done like 100 reps, I look up at the poster. Oh, it's time for food. Ow! Kiri, no, I'm trying to have deep thoughts about this baseball.
Yeah, if I may, Robin, Kiri does push the door open and try to like weave in between your legs as you're doing squats and your arms as you're doing push-ups, as Kiri is wont.
She's like on my back as I'm doing push-ups.
Yeah, of course. It's, classic cat/anime stuff,
Yeah.
And, Phil, you invite it. It's a little extra weight. Not much,
Yeah.
but a little bit. And, you said it yourself before I had the chance to ask. I was like, Phil seems like the kind of person who just has baseball posters, memorabilia all over the wall. It's like it's like way back
Baseball
when a lot of girls I knew in like middle school and high school, my sister included, had like the Jonas Brother and Justin Bieber like magazine cutouts just taped floor to ceiling. It's not quite that bad for Phil, but I get the feeling, maybe a little bit.
Yeah, it's a little bit like that. Like he's got like on top of a bookshelf, he's got all of his trophies from when he was like, doing junior baseball or whatever. And he's got posters, he's got like a framed jersey. And like, yeah, it's pretty much it's like everything to him. And there's like on like his bedside table, there is just a photo of him at about like 8 years old, standing next to his dad, in Phil's in his like baseball uniform, and his dad just has like a catcher's mitt on, and they just look very happy together. Yeah.
Great. Awesome. And throughout the night, as you all go through your sort of before the game night rituals, you each get a text at a point in the night. It's a group text chain. and it's from Coach Taylor. Um, Cole, Coach, um, Coach Taylor sends out the lineup, and she puts up, thumbs up emojis at the end, like, let's win tomorrow. And you all see where you're playing and where you're hitting tomorrow. And all three of you are in the starting lineup. First game of the season. It's a lot of, hey, let's kind of see how things go. Let's see who's good where. A couple of your teammates are trying out different positions to maybe see if they can get more regular playing time, or at least to be a good backup or whatever. Lena, you find out you are starting at catcher, and you are the leadoff hitter for tomorrow's game. Phil,
Yeah.
you are graced with the number 3 spot in the lineup and playing third base. And the sure, fourth is typically like the cleanup, the best power hitter on the team, but usually the hitter who's hitting third is the best hitter on the team. And you know how big of a deal that is, at least for you, this year with everything you want to accomplish personally. Some of your other teammates, Mackenzie, Rosa, Bella, Kyle, Roman, they're all in the starting lineup as well. And when you get down to the bottom in the number 9 spot, you all see who the starting pitcher for the day is. And it's you, Ken, for the first time since your injury. You're stepping out on the mound.
Yeah, I'm going to. I mean, everyone's putting like thumbs up, right? Like got it, coach. Or I'm just gonna send a question mark.
And a few moments go by, and you don't get an answer from Coach Taylor in the text chain. But a minute or two later, you get a phone call, and it's Coach Taylor.
Okay. Hey, how's it going, coach? Got the starting lineup?
Is there a problem, Ken?
No problem at all, coach. Just we've always practiced all the conditioning, all the practice. We had me doing cleanup pitching and supporting Tyler for off of their starting pitching. But did something wrong with Tyler, or?
I understand. Since the injury, you might not think that you are capable of being a starter anymore. But I've seen you pitch. I know I came on tail end of the year right before your injury last year, but I mean, I went back, I watched the tape, I saw what you were capable of on the mound. I mean, everyone knew that you were probably destined for the pros someday. I know this was a surprise. And I mean, if I asked you about it beforehand, you probably would have said that you don't think you can do it, and that you can only be the closer or just the relief if we need it. And Tyler is good. Tyler will get the job done for us, and I mean, Bella will probably get most of our starts. But they're young. There's a lot of pressure in a rivalry game. And it's going to be a long year for the two of them. But I believe in you, Ken.
Uh, thanks, Coach. Won't let you down. Won't let you down.
No, you
Yeah,
won't.
gotta show the greenhorns a thing or two. I see what you're throwing down. Thanks for the pep talk. I didn't realize how much I let myself believe, that I couldn't do something like this.
You know, everybody gets one pep talk a season. Uh, but I'll let you get two.
All right, we'll see you
If
tomorrow. Oh, go ahead.
if you're struggling tomorrow, I won't hesitate to take you out.
That's perfectly fair. Thanks, Coach.
But I don't think that's going to happen. See you tomorrow, Ken.
All right, see you tomorrow, Coach. Bleep, bloop.
And she hangs up. You hang up. And
As you look at your phone again, you can see in the group text that Phil has sent heck yeah tiger emoji starting pitcher again and like a bunch of exclamation points.
And then Speedy sends a thumbs up.
Oh, thumbs up. Yeah, and in response to that, we all it's the prayer emoji, but it's like meant to be like a high five emoji, right?
Yeah.
That's the emoji that we're sending. That's the emoji that Tiger's thrown in there.
And after a few minutes, the text chain dies down, but not before both Bella and Tyler, the other two pitchers on the team, sort of text you separately, words of encouragement, thumbs up, fire emojis. They knew what was going to happen.
I want to be on this team. This team's awesome.
Very supportive.
Yeah. And maybe last year when things weren't going well and the last coach was really not great, everybody felt a little bit divided. But Coach Taylor, Coach Jenna Taylor, we'll go with this time, has really found it important to make sure that you're all a team, win or lose. The right coach for the right job, everyone thinks. But you're left with that information after the text die down and everything, and eventually you find sleep. And we're going to take a quick 5-minute break, and then we'll dive into the next day. So stay with us, and we'll see you in 5 minutes. And we're back. Hello. I hope you missed me. Because we missed you. So, if I could not hit my mic and send it flying across my desk. So, Tiger, Speedy, the Golden Hammer. It's game day. You wake up in the morning and you head to school. It's raining. Kind of an early spring, sort of heavy rain, but you're all used to it. You know, the infield grass is turf, but the outfield grass is, regular natural grass. But it's supposed to sort of dry up. There's a tarp because Elmwood's been such a big baseball program. They have sort of a higher end field than most. So they have the tarp rolled out over the infield to keep it dry and everything. And you go through the day, and it's a long day. It's just a lot of waiting. Some of your teammates run into you in class, and they're like, "Hey, are you excited? I'm excited. I couldn't sleep last night." And one of your teammates, Kyle, team captain, sleeping through class, every single class. It's just like, it's kind of his thing. He has a lot of late nights taking care of his younger siblings since their parents work nights. So, Kyle's good student. Teachers understand. He'll be ready for the game, though. You know Kyle. He's just getting that extra pep in his step. It's like his cup of coffee, except it's sleeping through all of his classes. He's a good student, though. None of you know how. None of you know when he has the time. And he won't reveal his secrets either. He's that guy. And the end of the day comes around. And you all meet Coach Taylor in the gymnasium. You sort of go through the lineup one more time. You're all given your numbers for the day. You'll get your set jersey number later in the season once the competitive matches start. And for now, Ken, you are wearing number 1, the ace number.
Sweet.
And Kyle's wearing number 4, the number traditionally reserved for the captain. And Speedy, you have number 11, and you, Golden Hammer, you have number 3.
Good things come in threes.
Yeah.
Bad things also come in 3s.
Robin.
So over your shoulder as you say that to Hammer Speedy, the shortstop Rosa Flores, she sort of leans in, her hair tied into a real tight bun. She's got piercings down sort of the cuff of her right ear, nose ring. She's got a real good smoky eye going today. She just leans in, is like, isn't the rule of 3 like bad things?
I'm pretty sure it's good things. It seems
Yeah.
like good things to me.
And it's like a comedy thing where you make a joke 3 times and then it's not funny after that. So it's like you do things in 3s. So that's,
Also-
I think, strictly what the rule of 3 is.
Also, with me in this jacket, good things come in 3s.
Oh, I take it back. I absolutely take it back.
Yeah, that was.
You're right, Rosa. Bad things in 3s, and
You
then
can't take it back.
walks away.
You said it. Said the thing about the 3s.
Everyone's just like, oh man, that was Phil's worst one yet. That one was the worst. And you all head out to the practice field. or rather, the practice field where you're going to be playing today's game. And you start warming up. The weather has eased up for now. Things have sort of dried up just enough to play baseball. And that's when the Willow Spring buses start to pull up. And they're not the usual yellow school buses you've seen from them in years past. This time, they're those luxury coach buses. Like they look really nice and sleek on the
Ew.
outside. And they say Willow Spring in like a cool, like sort of edgy font on the side.
Looking at it, I'm like warming up with Phil. Just go. Think you can just foul one off into one of those buses?
I think so. Crack.
So you hit the ball and it just bounces off the side of the bus and the doors open. And the Willow Spring team, a lot of familiar faces begin to step off, but there's a lot of new faces too this year. So it looks like they've got a lot of young first years maybe in their lineup. And you see the last two students to step off. Ken, you recognize them. Phil, you as well. You see James Weston, the team captain. Real nice, well-groomed beard. Sort of the slicked back faux hawk undercut. Very, for those of you who are familiar with baseball players, very Bryce Harper. Just everything James has going on. Varsity jacket with the C on it, James has as the captain. And behind James, my personal favorite character to include in this is a new face. Except this man is built like a mountain. Von Verlander, my favorite returning character in these one-shots, steps off the bus and is, like 6'5", like 300 plus pounds of just muscle, just built like an NFL offensive lineman. Also has a similar beard to James's, but has like, long hair just tied into a nice little man bun. And, he and James are laughing about something. And this is like the largest high school student any of you have ever seen.
You seeing this? Is that someone's parent?
Coaching staff?
You all see Vaughn.
Mascot?
Mascot.
Vaughn picks up a bag, one of the athletic bags that everyone else is picking up from under the bus, and goes into the dugout. And takes off the coat and is wearing a jersey, just wearing the Willow Spring uniform.
Possible.
You telling me that guy's in high school?
I think
I drink
that's
a glass of milk every night, and I can't get that tall.
they might have. I think I've heard about this person. Like they keep holding him back every few years, and then he transfers schools.
Is that even legal?
I don't know. It just kind of happens.
I bet it's all fat under there.
And the last person to step off the bus is a new person. It's not their usual coach. It's a different coach. And for those of you on the team who are fans of sort of the professional baseball teams, recognize him as a former baseball player, someone who sort of made it into the major leagues but didn't quite last very long, who did play for the Seattle Mariners in some of their bad years, just not too long ago, just a few years prior to their sort of magical runs now. His name is Davis Wood.
Is that Davis Wood?
He was an infielder. He had a pretty good bat, but he made too many errors in the field, or had too many off the field issues. No one really knows for sure why he was never brought back up, but looks like he's coaching Willow Spring now.
Don't you have a
That's
poster
their
of that?
coach.
Sorry, go ahead.
They have a giant player and a former pro coach.
Yeah, but you don't have to worry about him. He sucked as a player.
Oh, yeah, okay, that does help, huh? Sorry, Tiger, what were you saying?
No, I was gonna say, like, it looks familiar. I might have seen him on one of your posters. Yeah, man.
What do you have a poster of this guy? You just said he was bad.
I mean, he's on a team poster, with a bunch of other guys.
Yeah. Okay.
And I have his face crossed off with an X. I mean, he tanked our entire series shot
Single-handedly.
back in
Oh man.
09.
Single-handedly in a team sport.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
single-handedly.
bad.
Well, let's hope he single-handedly tanks Willow the spring.
What position did he play?
He was a third baseman.
Yeah, he dropped every ball that went towards third base.
Let's yeah.
It was really pathetic.
And you all have this conversation, and Coach Taylor and Coach Davis, they meet, they talk with the umpire as fellow students and parents. Your sister Tiger, they all begin to sort of file into the stands, as this is a big game. This will be the only time you play Willow Spring this year, unless you make the playoffs. They also would have to make the playoffs, but they haven't been very good the last few years.
Yeah, their new coach is going to single-handedly tank their chances.
So you all finish your warm-ups, and it's Willow Spring's turn to sort of come out and warm up before you all sort of head out on the field to start the game. And the coach is throwing sort of batting practice. And James steps in first, gets about 5 pitches. 2 of them are just kind of basically hit to where your shortstop or you would be standing during a game, Phil. And the other 3 are just deep bombs over the center field fence, just one after another, and it looks like they just got longer. James feels like that's enough, and then Vaughn steps in, and the power with the way he swings the bat, it basically sends you can feel it. It's like a crack of thunder just when he swings the bat. And in a very anime way, there's the sort of sound effects. You can feel the pressure surrounding him, and he's just doing batting practice. And unlike James, he hits all 5 of his pitches over the fence, and calls it a day. There's a bunch of mixed performances from some of their other players. You see their pitcher, Jones Jackson, who has a nice sort of sidearm pitching motion. Jones had a similar injury to you once, Ken, not quite on the same scale, and it was more the elbow, and then he changed his pitching motion, and it didn't really work last year, but it looks like it's much better. I'm
gonna say,
throwing the ball well.
Who is this person again? What was their name?
James Jackson.
Jones. Okay. I have a respect for Jones. Yeah. No, like going through similar injuries and stuff. So, If at some point afterwards, I'm just like look over at Jones and just give a nod, like looking good.
Jones in between pitches just wipes the sweat from his brow, gives you a nod back. And there's a mutual respect there. Everyone heard about what happened to Jones the year before. And then last year, everyone heard about what happened to you. And I mean, the two of you were, probably the best pitchers in the state of Washington. Maybe not the whole region, but you were both two of the top pitchers. Yeah, there's a mutual respect. Willow Springs steps back into their dugout. The coaches exchange their lineup cards. The umpire pulls down his mask. You all step out onto the field. Since you are the home team, you pitch first.
Real
And
quick, before
Yes.
we go out onto
Yeah.
the field, I wanted to, if I got a chance, sneakily make my way over to the opposing team's coach,
Mhm.
and pull out a baseball card.
Yeah. So
While
there's
this is
like
going on, I'll go find Tiger too.
yeah. So there's a small span of time in between the coaches giving their team pep talks. Coach Taylor just kind of took you all and was like, "Win this game, or don't show up for practice tomorrow." Very like just relaxed, chill. It's probably not serious, but maybe not. And there's just a few minutes of downtime, and you head over Hammer, and Davis just kind of stops and is like, "Hey, I think your bench is over there."
Hey, no, I'm just really big fan. I was wondering if maybe you could sign this for me.
He looks at you, and he hesitates. I'm sorry, you're a big fan of me. Are you sure?
Yeah, look, I mean, I know you kind of, they say you kind of beefed it, but uh, I think, I saw you going out there and giving it your all every time, no matter what. And that really mattered to me. That's why I play third base today.
Uh, we'll have our first dice roll of this game. Hammer, roll a d12 for me with your style stat added to it. That is one of your 2 social skills.
That's a 12.
He stops and he looks at you, and a tear forms in his eye. That means a lot to me. Yeah, sure. Give it here. And he takes the marker he used for his lineup card and signs the baseball card for you.
Hell yeah.
Uh,
I just sort of I like tuck it. Where do I tuck it?
yeah, the whole Willow Spring team saw this because they're in their dugout right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, it happened.
I just sort of I tuck it like on the inner rim of my my ball cap.
Cool. Speedy, you said you were looking for Tiger.
Yeah. Well, the golden hammer is going to get this card signed. Speedy kind of walks up behind Tiger and as he's kind of watching this other pitcher and just says, "Hey, I know I wasn't here before,
Yeah.
but I just wanted you to know I've seen you do a really great job. I don't know how you're feeling today, but you deserve this. And I think you're the best shot the team's got."
Thanks, Speedy. Just keep. I'm just practicing, nonstop. You know, just you're catching today.
Yeah.
I mean, we've only done this in practice, but I mean, you call some of the shots, and I'll listen. If you think something needs a little bit more heat, I'll try and keep up.
Yeah. We'll
Thanks. Thanks for saying that.
we got this, Tiger.
All right, Speedy.
And I think she kind of like smacks him on the back a little bit and walks over, sits down on the bench, and just kind of like eyes the other team.
Yeah, and the new battery is formed, and you all get the call from the umpire to get on the field. Um, Willow Springs first batter, Ruth Baker. A smaller girl steps into the sort of warm up spot, takes a couple practice swings, um, and you all step out on the field. You Speedy behind the plate, you Tiger on the mound, and not too far from there, you on third base, Hammer. Uh, and the umpire sort of pulls their mask down and yells, "Play ball!"
Woo!
And we dive into the game. So with this alternative style, we don't go inning by inning, but rather there's sort of three particular rounds that sort of sum up the events of the each third of the game. So we're going to play through some of the dramatic moments here and find out how this game works, or how this particular game goes. Tiger, you step out onto the mound.
So familiar like energy and electricity. Like I haven't started before, so it's want to be safe about things, but also impress. So making the signals over to Speedy. I plan on starting out with your traditional four seam and then dialing it back to just two seam sinkers just to save a bit of that power.
Yeah, and this is the first time anyone's seen you pitch in a game since your injury. And you step out onto the mound, and it just feels so good to be in that particular spot on the field, especially when you were told by everyone there's no way you're ever going to pitch again. And if you do, it's not going to be anywhere close to where you were before. But everything kind of feels right today. And you fire off that first four seam fastball, and you don't have the speed that you used to. That ball doesn't have a lot of velocity on it. It doesn't have a lot of RPMs, so it's not spinning a whole ton. Not a lot of movement on the pitch like you'd like it to have. But Ruth, she sort of steps in and overestimates it and is early on the fastball. Just swings way too early, and the ball hits your glove, Speedy. And when it hits your glove and it makes that just beautiful sound, ball hitting mitt, and you hear the umpire just yell, "Strike!" The crowd claps and everything. That pitch had more force to it than Tigers had all winter in your bullpen sessions. And you sort of throw it back. We're going to make our first roll of this round. as you throw a two seam, you get another swing and a miss, Tiger, and you feel good about it. Um, and you just kind of miss a little high in the strike zone with the sinker, and Ruth gets the bat on it, and it comes flying over at you, Hammer. First action of the game. I'm gonna have you roll a d12, add your skill or your strategy to it, as this is a line drive coming right at you, and it needs to be at an 8.
It's a 14.
Cool. So why don't you describe to me what it's like when Hammer makes this first play?
I think Hammer, the Golden Hammer, has has been sort of crouched on base, just staring sort of intently, and like right before the batter swings, he makes eye contact with him, and just winks. And the guy, in a weird moment, like hits the ball straight towards third base, and the Hammer just yoinks it out of the air, like just without even needing to like jump or anything. He just grabs it, holds it, and uh, uh, just snaps it there, without so much as a sound. The guy reaches first base and starts running towards second, not even knowing where the ball is, until he just kind of waves it in the air a little bit.
Yeah. Ruth, she takes a swing, and she's still early on all of your pitches, Tiger, and the ball comes flying at you, Golden Hammer. And it's almost like slow motion for you. Maybe it was Ruth subconsciously just being like, oh, I have to get ahead of this one, hit it over there. But it comes flying at you, and it's like the easiest play you've ever made. It's just routine. And they don't call it the hot corner for nothing. You make the play. Ruth sort of rounds first, realizes you caught the ball, and heads back to the dugout. The next out comes pretty easily. Tiger, you get a strikeout. The sinker, finally, you're sort of starting to find its location now. Getting a couple of good swings and misses, a couple of foul balls, just a little bit out of play. And Speedy throws the ball back to you, and you sort of step off the mound, take that second in between outs, and you, before you can even turn around, you're facing second base, and you can feel it. You can feel just a massive pressure, a massive aura stepping into the batter's box behind you. And Speedy, you crouched down sort of behind home plate, waiting for Tiger to step back on the mound, sort of look up, and James Weston, the captain of Willow Spring, is stepping into the box. Very calm, collected, composed expression. Doesn't really say a word to you or anything, like some players might chit chat with the catcher a little bit. And Tiger, you feel this presence, and you turn around, and if your aura was blue, and James's was red, the entire field is covered in this red aura right now. This might be an exhibition game, and it might not count towards your team record or the playoffs or anything, but James, this matters. this matters to James a lot, and you can tell.
Okay. Okay. And this is so really quick for this is a question for the GM.
Yep.
This is still in the first inning. Are we? You said okay.
Yeah, 2 outs in the first inning.
2 outs in the first inning. Okay. Figuring that I want to keep up my energy, I'm not gonna try press my luck with this person right now. The idea is to let them get comfortable. So what I'll do is use one of my abilities, ground ball pitcher. 3 times per game, this pitcher can force a ground ball to an infielder instead of a contested roll with the hitter. If there's a runner on base, the fielder can attempt a double play. So, yeah, the pitches I throw, this I'm gonna try and force this to force one of these to an infielder, preferably the golden hammer.
Cool. Okay. Yeah, so you use that ability, and what does it look like when you sort of tap into this sort of superpower almost?
Okay, sure. Yeah. So I'm gonna change it up. Test the waters with something a little bit technical, something that I feel is gonna be tricky, and go with a bit of a curveball. And then I imagine that gets like fouled off or something. Try and go with another one. If that gets fouled off again, so he's on it. He's able to see the pitches and stuff, and so I'm gonna throw something a little bit slower. Make sure get him swinging a little bit early, right? It's the early pitches that go towards third. Yeah, so go with something a little bit slower, like a sinker.
Cool.
And try and get it over to hammer, golden hammer,
Golden hammer.
good old GH.
Yeah, so the ball comes out of your hand, and everything around you just you're tuning out the crowd right now, and you're kind of going into a place that is just different. You're tapping into something that you aren't quite sure you have back yet.
Yeah.
And you throw this curveball, and he fouls it off, and you throw this next one, and he fouls it off again, and he's getting the timing right on the curveball. And when you throw the sinker, it just kind of drops like an elevator, more than it has all day, and he just is ahead of it and just barely sort of taps it. And Hammer, this ball is coming sort of slowly down the line to you, so make a d12 roll for me to make this throw over to first base. DC of 6.
Do I add anything to it?
Yeah, your skill or strategy.
11.
Yeah. So you and Tiger right now are just in sync, and you charge the ball, and sort of off balance, you make one of those very professional like style plays, like off balance, throwing like from 1 foot, basically almost parallel to the ground, and you throw it, and it's a perfect throw to first base, and it's 3 outs. And we move through the game a little bit. We skip from the top half of the first inning now to the tail end of the third inning. A few hits have sort of come around, and Ken, you struck out, and with 1 out, Lena, Speedy, you step up to bat,
Yep.
And Jones Jackson has kind of given up a few hits so far today. No runs yet. No one has scored yet. Tiger, you had two more perfect innings up until this point. You had some trouble with Vaughn, but you ultimately ended up just forcing him to pop one up, and Speedy made the play there behind home plate.
Nice.
After two went foul over the outfield wall, but just barely missed being home runs.
Ooh, okay.
So, Lena, you step up to bat. Do you have any like sort of special ritual before you step up to hit or anything?
Nah, Lena's a simple person. And despite the nickname, not so speedy. So she kind of, stretches a little bit, casually walks up. It's a stroll, really.
Mm-hmm. And you stroll up. You step up in the batter's box, and Jones Jones has seemed a little off this inning. Hasn't been throwing the best stuff. Make a D12 roll for me. As Jones sort of throws what he thought was his best pitch, a slider that basically goes from one side to the next. DC of 8,
Adding what?
skill or strategy.
16? Do it for you?
What?
It's 12 plus 4.
So
Dang.
so okay.
Willow,
That works well. This is a good die.
Let me roll really quick.
Willow, what are their names?
Yeah,
Lumber.
so
The lumber hacks.
So this ball is definitely coming in. It's the sloppiest pitch of the day, for sure. It's a fastball with no spin, no velocity, just kind of left over the middle of the plate. And if you make contact with this, it's gone. So tell me what this home run looks like, Speedy.
Yes. I mean, she hits it and she knows. And so she just takes a second, smirks at Jones, winks at the current catcher, and then just jogs around.
Slow victory lap.
Casual, just kind of like waves at all of the oh my gosh, I mean, she's such a fart about it, like
Yeah.
waves at all of the people she catches or she passes in the infield and just lives it up.
Incredible. Yeah, so the second you hit it, everyone just kind of looks up. No one moves. They know. You know.
Yeah.
You just
Oh, yeah.
gotta take a minute. You watch it. You throw your bat to the side. Do you do a bat flip? Do you like flip the bat all fancy over your shoulder or anything? Or
No, if she does, I think it's more just like kind of showing off to the people specifically.
Mhm.
Just kind of drops it and just strolls.
I love it. Yeah, so you just kind of hit it. You drop the bat behind you. You round the bases, waving at the Willow Spring team. You wave to the ball, like bye bye, and you step on home plate and give your team a 1-0 lead in the third inning. And that really juices up your team, and there's some momentum now. And Mackenzie, she hits a really nice one into the outfield, hits a double, gets on second, and that sort of opens it up for you, Hammer. You step in now, runner on second, your team's up by 1, and Tiger's pitched better than anyone could have expected. Hasn't let anyone on base yet. Put down their two best players, Von Verlander, the catcher, this mountain who nothing's getting past him back there because of how big he is. But Tiger's kind of rolling right now. Speedy just hit that home run. That's supposed to be your thing.
Yeah, yeah, not one to be shown up. Uh, Phil just like as he like stands up to walk out of the dugout, he just starts chanting, "Golden Hammer," and like tries really
Golden
hard to get the
hammer.
rest of the team to go along with it,
Yeah,
which
and
they
I mean
did.
they do.
Tiger's got you.
Tiger's sister in the stands even starts it in the crowd, and it's fun. It's fun for everybody, and the chant starts. It kind of rattles Jones Jackson a little bit.
Yeah. And
Speedy's just rolling her eyes.
as he jauntily walks out to the plate, he raises his bat out towards the outfield, calling his shot.
Oh no. I love it. I love it.
You-
Okay.
I've seen this happen twice in real life, and have it just utterly failed.
I have never been on a team where this has succeeded. So,
I'd like to imagine this is the second time he's done it this game already,
okay.
and the first time it was just a pop fly immediate out.
yeah.
But
So
this time for sure.
yeah. You hit a deep fly ball that was just caught well shy of the wall in center field.
Yeah.
Uh,
Fury, what are you doing?
The mascot is cheering you on. Even. Like you hear the little meows like meow over in the dugout. Yeah, Phil, roll a d12 for me with your skill or strategy. DC of 8 since you're calling your shot.
Hey, what if I don't want to? What if I just want to? Oh wait, no, I have to hit the outfield first. All right, I got to roll still. All right. Yeah,
Okay.
easy,
Yeah.
easy. Okay, that's 7.
Oh no!
You strike out. Jones sort of takes a breath, and you're swinging. It's very Casey at the bat. That poem that you read in middle school or whatever.
Yeah.
And you swing once and miss, but you sent just chills
And
through.
I call my shot again.
It's like a shockwave, and you do it again and you miss again, and it's like another, and you just feel the energy and the pressure rippling, and you're like, this is it, this is the one.
Yeah.
And you swing, and you almost watch it happen in slow motion. The ball and your bat just pass one another, and you swing yourself corkscrewing into the ground because of how hard you swung. If, like, in true anime fashion, you essentially leave a crater where you stood, and it's a strikeout.
From the ground, I raise my bat to the sky one more time, and then
I love it.
gently lay it down and walk off.
Incredible. And the rest of that inning, that kind of kills the momentum there. The Golden Hammer got the crowd chanting, especially with the momentum on their side, and it just gets kind of cut short. And
Speedy just like hides her face in her hand because she's like a little bit laughing, still not used to the Golden Hammer's antics on this team. But also does not want to laugh. Like, she has committed to this team, she's dedicated, and so like even though she finds it kind of amusing, she recognizes the gravity of this situation and of, I think, Phil's like demeanor, so definitely very like,
Yeah. I think Phil like walks back to the dugout looking kind of somber and seeing everyone else looking kind of somber. Um, and like as he sort of sits back down and there's like just this silence everywhere, he just goes, next time though, right?
And at this point, that's it. Speedy bursts out laughing and says, next time. That's exactly right. Next time, everyone. And like tries to get everyone back.
Yeah, Tiger's gonna be like, hey, you know what? Third time's the charm, number 3, right? Am I right? Am I right? Let's go, everyone.
Right? Third time's the charm.
And you know, we go through the 4th inning, and it's another 2 quick outs, and then once again, you feel the pressure as James Weston steps in the box once again. Tiger. This time, you watch him from the dugout, from the on deck circle into the batter's box.
Okay. Whew. All right. James, this James Weston is the big one, or the all-star?
Captain. The captain.
Team captain. Okay, cool.
The one who looks like Bryce Harper.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
There we go. All right. The same tactic is not going to work this time, is what's going through Tiger's head this time. And so you talked about this place where he was before, where he didn't think he could go. He's going to try tapping into that again, and just do my best to not even give him a chance to hit, and start throwing that heat 4-seam fastball. Try and beat out his eyes. Not literally, just
right. So you
can I do my Shades of the Past? Do you think this would be narratively okay to do that? Once per game, this pitcher digs deep to throw the way they did before their injury and strike out a batter.
Screw it. Yeah, why not?
The idea is to scare James into like, I'm back, James. Yeah. Jimothy.
I hate that. I don't like that. Okay, so this is your sort of super ability.
Yeah. The you talked about auras before. That was all red, and after that brief moment of meditation, it's all blue. It's all tiger. And then behind me is like a Japanese style painting of a tiger.
Yeah.
You know?
Like as you like take your long stride, you plant your foot, and it's like at that moment a loud crack of thunder and a bolt of lightning roars across the sky, and as your arms moving, you know, you have the animated tiger roaring and sort of running as you're moving. It's a side profile shot, and you throw this ball, and it's like there's just a bit of fire sort of coming off of it as this ball just screams right down the middle, right past James, who pulls, you know, a golden hammer, swings himself right into the dirt. And, you know, it's like this tiger just runs and is like roaring behind this pitch. And this ball hits your glove so hard it knocks you backwards, Speedy.
Oh, I forgot to warn you. I'm back.
I mean, she is just grinning ear to ear. Like, this is freaking fantastic. This is high drama, as my dad always says, of sports.
Yep. Yeah, and that brings that inning to an end. And we'll skip ahead once more to what is now it would be the 6th inning.
What's the score at?
The score is still 1-0.
Okay.
So you got that one at the tail end of the third inning, and then that encounter with James went down in the fourth, and now uh, we're in the seventh now. No, the sixth now. Sixth inning, and Von Verlander, the sheer mountain of a man, is stepping up to the plate. So far, and no one has brought it up to you, Tiger, and there's probably a reason. No one from Willow Spring has gotten on base yet today.
Interesting.
You've either forced some ground balls, pop flies, a couple of foul pitches just fouled back right into Speedy's glove back there behind the plate. A couple of really close calls over there at third base for the Golden Hammer. Speedy even made one diving play right down the first base line, one that probably would have dropped in fair, that would have ended up being an infield single, and Speedy just made an incredible play. So there have been a few just highlight plays that have sort of saved what you're doing, but you're not showing any signs of slowing down. But you feel your aura has kind of been dominating. You're just in the zone. You are pitching better than you did even before your injury, and you see Vaughn sort of step in, and this is a good moment for you, Speedy. You sort of jog up to Tiger to have just a quick chat. Maybe settle any potential nerves. So you two have a second on the mound as Vaughn is sort of taking the last few practice swings in the on deck circle.
How you feeling?
Whew. Really good. I
Embrace
needed
that.
something. Yeah.
I felt it. I felt it from you, Tiger. You've just got that great energy today, and it is showing in every pitch you take.
Oh, yeah, and feeling real good. Just hope it's not hurting or anything. No.
I can handle worse. Bring it on. And then like jogs back.
Yeah, and the moment just feels so light. And Vaughn steps in, and Vaughn doesn't use any batting gloves or anything. Sort of picks up some dirt, much like David Ortiz back in the day, rubs it on his hands, grips the bat, and steps in. And it is what could end up being maybe your second to last major challenge in this game to get past Tiger. James is going to come up one more time. Vaughn will probably come up one more time, and typically, I mean, he's intimidating. He's got more power than James, but it looks like he still can't catch up with what you're throwing today. James can.
James can. Got it.
Vaughn is still just a little bit behind your pitches. But let's roll a d12.
Got it.
We'll roll contesting d12s. You add your skill or strategy, and I will add the +3 for Vaughn. And
okay.
Whoever gets the higher one wins.
Nice. Okay, so I believe my strategy is a 4. So my strategy is a 4. That is 9. I rolled a 5.
I rolled a 9 on the dice.
Oh.
+3 is 12.
All right.
Uh, let me figure out where this one's going.
Yeah.
I'll say anything less than a 4 on this dice is popped back up to Speedy. Uh, between 4 and 8 is somewhere in the infield. 8 to 11, somewhere in the outfield. And if I roll a 12, it'll be a home
Homer.
run.
Cool.
That's one that I'm just kind of making up on in the moment, just for the
Mhm.
drama of it.
Of course, of course.
Okay, I rolled a 2. I thought it was a 12 for a second because I saw the 2.
Oh no.
I was like, oh yes, this is... I get to win this time.
I got this. I got this.
Yeah, so the bat and the ball connect, and it sounds like it's gone. Like, it makes that perfect, like, ball hitting the bat, it makes that crack, but it just goes up and up and up, and it almost gets lost in the sun. He just hit it so high, straight up. You see the shadow of it on the ground, Speedy, so you know
Where it's coming down.
it's your... If you don't catch this, Vaughn's getting on base.
Yeah.
Roll a d12 for me. Add your skill or strategy as you try to make this catch. If you have any abilities that might help you, feel free to use them.
That is a fair thing to remind me of. Okay, well, the 3 times per game, this player can automatically turn a hit to the infield into an out. This isn't even a hit to the infield, but can I still make it an out?
The catcher is part of the infield, so
Oh, okay.
It is still a hit to the infield, yes.
Okay, I was just going by your yeah, okay, then I'll do that.
Sweet. Okay. Yeah, you make an easy play. Vaughn had it, just maybe a little bit higher up angle of the swing.
We didn't have it.
That was gone, but
We had it the whole time. And Speedy, like the second she catches it, just like punches the air and points out at Tiger. Because this is still excellent.
And I'm gonna be hyping up the crowd, going Speedy, Speedy, Speedy.
yeah, and this is obviously a home game, and the momentum that had kind of been lost for a little while. And then there was a little bit of anxiety because this game was kind of going a little too well for Tiger. Mm-hmm. And now it's all back. It's back to excitement. It's back to a high energy level. And
so popcorn sales are through the roof right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think after this, just for the drama of it, when they get back to the dugout, Speedy rips open a bag of Cracker Jacks.
Love it.
Cliche.
Love
it.
Yeah. So, for the sake of time, as it is 10:20 now, we'll fast forward to the end of the game.
We got to put the golden hammer back out there.
It's we'll go to our final challenge with James here in the 7th inning.
Okay.
And this will be the final obstacle in the way of the dominant performance you are having, Tiger. The thing is, exhibition games end after 7 innings.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
You're all up by 1.
Yeah.
No one else has scored. James is stepping in. Ruth and Kevin grounded out. Golden Hammer made another big play on third base.
That's right.
So the last threat is James. James has an ability where if he hits the ball to the outfield, it's a home run. It is a similar ability to what you have, Golden Hammer. So, Tiger, if you strike him out or force him to ground out or something,
Mm-hmm.
you all will win the game and you all have 7 perfect innings. If you don't, you know this is going to end one way. James is only going to be swinging for the fences.
Yeah.
So, we're going to do one more contested roll.
Ooh.
Now, you do know, Lena and Phil, Speedy and Golden Hammer do come up in the bottom of the 7th. So, you feel pretty confident that the team can probably win in case you screw this up.
Yeah.
But don't beef it.
Mhm.
But
Don't
absolutely not.
beef it.
Listen, beef is off the menu. Okay, we're just
Beef is off the menu, boys.
No beef on this menu,
It's-
baby.
salmon or chicken. That's it. No beef. All right. Here we go.
James gets a +4 to his
You-
roll.
Gets a +4.
The
Okay.
higher roll on the D12 wins.
Okay.
Let's.
Okay. You said there's another at bat for our team, right?
Yes.
2 more, yeah.
Okay. I rolled an 8.
I rolled a 12 on the dice.
Shit. I have a +4.
James
that-
also
but you-
has a +4.
But you also have a +4. Oh. I think this is where if you have a narrative thing, let me know, because I have some narrative stuff too.
Go for it, please.
Okay. This is where like all of it is starting to catch up to Tiger. It's like he's been thrown so good, just absolute back in form. But it's starting to catch up. He's starting to realize, oh man, it's tired. It's becoming heavy. He's got that sharp pain, like really quick. There's that dull pain that's eking up. That has been eking up at the beginning of this inning, and at this at bat, it stopped becoming a dull pain and started becoming a little bit sharp. He's gonna try and ignore it, push past it. Looks over at Jones in the dugout, in the Willow dugout, and Jones is like, no. And he tries to ignore it, pitches, and is just unable to convert the strikeout.
So you feel it in your arm. You feel it as the ball leaves your hand. Any other hitter on this team, even Vaughn, you might get away with it. You might get away with the mistake. You might get away with not having saved enough in the tank for this moment. And the thing is, if there's one thing James has never done, it's let pitchers get away with mistakes.
Yep, absolutely.
And the crowd roaring, celebrating, cheering for you. You got to 2 strikes on him. It was a full count. Next pitch, this was it. The crowd is silent. All anyone hears is the crack of the bat. And the ball just flies deep over center field. It probably wouldn't stay in most pro stadiums right now. The ball goes over the wall. There's a big bat flip from James, who feels so hyped in that moment, and all that blue aura that was just drowning Willow Spring this whole game has just been washed away in one moment, as it's just, you can feel that pressure almost crushing you now. You feel your heart sink into your stomach as James rounds the bases, steps on, goes into the dugout. Coach Taylor comes out before the next batter, takes the ball from you, brings Tyler in off the bench. Tyler gets that next out, and you're there in the dugout in that moment.
Yeah.
Just kind of alone for a second.
Yeah. It's when Coach when Coach Taylor comes out and Speedy comes over from the box to check on me. It's silent tears, very very silent tears, but there's a bit of a smile on the face. It's like, for a brief shining moment of this game, I was back, and that's all I needed. It's gonna suck to not be able to be that anymore, but I look over at Tyler, I look over at Golden Hammer, I look over at Speedy, and just, this is the torch being passed. And I go back over the dugout again, silent, alone. I just need to have those be able to process this the way I do. I think the rest of the team understands that.
Yeah, I think when he looks at Speedy, she just gives him every time it's worth it for the look on your face. She gives him just like, it's the same kind of grin, that ear to ear grin that she usually has, but it's like there's a different sense behind it of just like solidarity, like and trying to pass in a single smile and look like,
Yeah,
I see you.
yeah. So it's in the dugout, ice pack on the shoulder, and once the inning flips to the bottom, I'm back in it and cheering on people at bat.
Yeah, and during the game, no one was talking to you because it's a superstition. You don't talk to a pitcher who's throwing a no-hitter or a perfect game. It's a jinx. If you do, it's over. You don't talk about it. No one brings it up. No one acknowledges it. But no one's sitting near you on the bench. It's a different vibe now, though. No one's talking to you because they know you need that moment.
Mm-hmm.
And the next half of the inning comes up. Speedy, you leave off. You get a base hit. You get on first. Mackenzie sort of grounds out, and you stay on first. And now with one out, a runner on first, Golden Hammer, your third at bat. You're 0 for 2 on the day.
Yeah. Before heading out, I would say just like between innings, Golden Hammer briefly like walks, like ducks into the locker room, and like he pulls out from his hat the baseball card, and he like shoves it against the wall, and is like, and he against the mirror in the locker room, and he points at himself. You're not gonna beef it like Davis.
Oh my god! Oh god, I hope you beef it. You all know exhibitions, they don't have extra innings. They end after 7. Win, lose, or draw. You have 2 outs left.
Yeah.
If you score one more run, game's over. It's a walk-off. You win. If you don't, you tie with your school rival. After the performance Tiger had for all but one at-bat. So you step into the batter's box, Golden Hammer.
And also competing with Speedy for the one hit of the game.
I know.
Yep. The one run so far. And Golden Hammer, if you can get Speedy to score, I mean, if you hit a home run, it counts as 2, basically. So that would put you in first place.
This time, he walks up the bat, stone-faced, serious, no fanfare. Crowd completely silent as he approaches.
We'll make our final dice roll of the night. Competing D12s. Jones once again gets a +3. Sorry, Jones gets a +4. Vaughn was getting a +3. Oop, I dropped my dice.
So it's a 1. Woo!
I rolled a 4 on the dice. 4 + 4 is 8.
I rolled a 7 + 4, 11.
Okay. Are you going to use your ability?
Yes.
So, tell us what this home run, this 2-run walk-off game winner against your school rival in a very dramatic game looks like.
I think he just, at bat is completely concentrated, and his internal monologue is running, and he's just telling himself, "This is it. I'm not gonna beef it like Davis. I'm not gonna let Speedy take all the glory. This is my time." And when the ball comes, he just cracks it out of the park. He doesn't drop his bat as he sees the ball flying out beyond the stands. He takes his bat, he points it out to the crowd, and he runs with it, pointing out there the entire time, making his whole lap around the bases. And the crowd starts chanting again.
Speedy gets back to home real early on, leaps into the air as soon as she realizes where that ball is going, comes back to home, and just kind of waits there, chanting with the crowd now, "Golden Hammer! Golden Hammer!" As he continues to run around the...
He's chanting for himself as he goes.
So, Jones was still in pitching at this point, and Jones had kind of been more reserved than Tiger was, and throws this pitch, not any different than any other pitch today. But you were just having a little bad luck early. And much like when Tiger threw that fastball that struck James out earlier in the game, when you swing, it's, there's that image of a hammer, much like Thor's hammer, just golden, shining, and just like earlier, you make contact, there's a crack of thunder, lightning in the sky, and that ball sails over the fence. The whole team, not just Speedy, rushes out of the dugout. Like, the second that ball goes in the air, they all jump up on their feet, and they're looking, waiting. They see it. They know it. They run out to home. You just get mobbed at home plate. The whole team losing their minds. Willow Spring walking off in defeat towards their dugout. And you all win the game. In dramatic fashion, after Tiger threw...
And our mascot is here too.
Beautiful. The mascot just, it's like there was a bunch of catnip off that home run. Just, Cat is loving it, having a day. And, you all line up for the handshakes. Davis shakes your hand, Hammer, and is like, hey, you're going to be a lot better than I was. I hope.
Thanks. I tried not to beef it.
So did I. Tiger, you and Jones have a moment. It's like, I get it.
Yeah.
But sort of at the end of the line, you have James, who just shakes your. That was my dice tray. Excuse me. My tin of dice.
Oh.
James kind of shakes your good arm, shakes your good hand, and there's a lot of respect there. James is one of the best hitters in the entire country, and you had his number before your injury, and now even after your injury, up until you learned where you went a little over the limit that
Hubris. Yeah, only defeated by hubris. Just how I like it.
But there's a quiet respect there. The handshake says kind of all that needs to be said. And you, Speedy, you get a few handshakes, and then the other team's catcher, Vaughn, the big mountain of a man, shakes your hand, and you hear him speak for the first time. And he has like the nicest, softest, like sweetest voice. Like, hey, that was awesome. You all were so good. Your home run was incredible. Congratulations. Good game.
The most intimidating person I've ever spoken to.
My boyfriend said the same thing when we met, but more like the Jolly Giant than the Jack and the Beanstalk kind,
I don't know.
Oh,
That almost makes it worse.
I hear this from behind and go, I love his beans. I love his green. The Jolly Green Giant.
Giant.
Ignore him.
Yeah, and Vaughn laughs. Vaughn thinks it's the funniest thing in the world. Like, oh man, I haven't heard that one before. Incredible. And then Vaughn kind of goes on his way. And we close it out. Night after a win, you all got together at the diner. Milkshakes.
Pizza Hut.
Wings.
Oh yeah, milkshakes.
Wings. Classic anime. Everyone's getting a milkshake, having a good meal, celebrating. Pizza, of course.
Always gotta get pizza.
Pizza party, and you all go home. And much like the night before, you're alone, thinking about the events of the day. And we'll just start with you, Speedy. What is this night like for you?
I'm just gonna keep it real simple, real straightforward and short. She pulls up that text with Joshua laying down in the bed and sends a little party emoji. And immediately Joshua's number comes up on the screen. He's calling. And she picks it up and starts to launches into telling him every play of the game, as is their tradition at this point.
Yeah, Joshua loves it. Even on the phone call, you're getting text messages from him as he's listening to this, and every time something good happens, he's just spamming emojis. Uh,
God.
but it's a nice moment. Um,
Yes.
Golden Hammer. What's this nice night like for you?
I hug my cat a lot.
And she hates it.
She loves it.
She loves it.
She loves it so much.
Yeah.
Um, and I take my autographed Davis uh, card and I put it in a binder with the cards that I actually care about protecting, because it wasn't there before. um, and I just I write in the space under it, didn't beef it, and the date.
I love it.
Love it.
And then I kind of like focus in, get kind of quiet for a second as I look at it, and think it's still not enough. And then I start doing push-ups again.
Yeah. And this whole time as we're switching through all of you, the anime outro music is going. It like quiets when there's like speaking going on. The credits are rolling like just in the one corner. And Tiger, we end with you.
I mean, there's a lot of like replying back to text messages in the group chat. I'm just like, thanks everyone. Like, or like, hey, Tyler, Bella, you kill it next game and during the season, all that stuff. He's very, very happy about that. I think he's sitting alone in his room, just kind of like looking over at like all the memorabilia that he has. Various trophies and playbooks and all that. And then his sister comes in the room and says that there's an opening for an assistant coach at her middle school.
Aww.
And he turns around with a smile and like, yeah, let's do it.
And on that note, your sister so excited. We close out tonight's one shot. Thank you everybody for watching. Thank you for hanging out with us and checking out Play Ball, the game I designed this summer for a game me and Kappa were supposed to play in, and it turned into what it is now. I had a blast tonight, as I do playing this game with everybody so far. I cannot thank Kappa, Renee, and Speedy, the real Speedy, enough for joining me and taking the time out to, play this little game of mine. In the chat, Nightbot posted a link to the Kickstarter. Playball is on Kickstarter right now. We have about 14 days to go. Still kind of a long way from our goal, but don't worry. The game's going to come out one way or another eventually. This will just help speed that up, I think. But thank you, everybody. I really appreciate it. You can find me on Twitter at CallMeCaulfield, much like here in this little box. Follow me here on Twitch. I play video games, I do one-shots like these, and me and Renee are both in a D&D podcast, D&D Viturium Awakening. It is a really cool podcast. You can follow us on Twitter at Viturium. If I... Nope, didn't set that up with Nightbot.
I thought maybe you just spelled it wrong for a second.
Nope.
Nope. I think I'm the only person who ever spells it right, it feels like. I'm just kidding. But that is on all podcast platforms. You can follow me, find links. You can go to callmecaulfield.com, catch up on the episodes. But it's also all on all podcast platforms. So that's cool. But yeah, I'll give these three a chance to plug anything they'd like to plug. And again, thank you from me to you for hanging out. Let's start with you, Kappa.
Hello, everyone. My name is Kappa. You can find me on Twitter at the Kappa Chris, where I nerd out about baseball sometimes, sports, mostly TTRPG things, and social justice related stuff. My whole platform is built on uplifting marginalized voices, so that's a lot of fun. I also post pictures of food sometimes. You can find me, if you liked what you saw today, you can find me on some of the other productions that I am in. The first of which is Roads Uncharted, the first actual play podcast set in the Genesis system by Fantasy Flight Games. Currently, not currently. We release episodes every single Friday on where you find your favorite podcasts. Everywhere you find your favorite podcasts. Currently, we are playing we were playing Dungeons and Dragons within Genesis 5 within Genesis. So it's a TTRPG within a TTRPG with guest GM HTT Paladin, one of the lead writers for Sina Una. We're on hiatus right now. Not Road Uncharted. This is a new thing. I'm also in Revenge of the Crit, which is currently on hiatus, but we're coming back soon. Wednesday evenings on Kevin Kudo VA. K Kudo VA on Twitch. It is a D&D 5e game skinned for the Star Wars universe set in between episodes 2 and 3. We get up to lots of shenanigans in that game, but I think that's all I'm in for now. Yeah, that's all I'm in for now. But all my upcoming projects, stuff that I can't talk about yet, I'll be announcing on my Twitter at the Kappa Chris once again. Thank you for letting me be part of this. This is awesome. I'm really glad to be able to gush about baseball because I don't get to do it enough.
Neither do I. And thank you for joining me. It's been my pleasure. I'm like the front row audience member to these things. I'm so glad. I'm so lucky every session. Renee.
Hi, I'm Renee Rhodes. I use she, her pronouns, and I played Speedy today, not to be confused with my partner Speedy sitting next to me. Thank you for joining the game. I had a lot of fun. I've been wanting to play this for a while, and so I'm really grateful for Robin for getting me in a game. And I woke up feeling pretty poorly beforehand, but I'm really glad I got to be here because this was just a blast. And I know I said it in game, but as my dad always says, sports is high drama, and gosh, you feel it when you're playing it, even if you're just playing it as a TTRPG.
Yeah.
I freaking love that. So check out the Kickstarter to get that same feel of drama as well. I myself am on Twitter. You can find that up here. There you go. Yeah. Radian R, and I will be launching a Kickstarter tomorrow for a podcast called Stone Soup for the Adventuring Soul, which is about 6 retired adventurers who are facing their next adventure, opening a tavern together while also dealing with the traumas and divides of their relationships that they dealt with in the adventure before. I'm very excited about it. It's got a very awesome cast, great story, that mix of emotional and humorous, and I'm thrilled. So please check that out. It's going to be amazing. And I think that's it. Lots of other stuff on Twitter right now. Pictures of cats who also made appearances in games today. I will say thank you, Robin. Great game. I'm wishing you so much luck on this Kickstarter. It deserves it. Speedy, always a fun time to play with you. And Chris, we'd never gotten to play before, but it was a really great time.
Yeah.
And I loved the character moments and the just the emotion that you added to the roles of the game to make it really impactful.
This was a lot of fun. I'm glad that we got to play together.
Yeah.
I'm also here and glad that I got to watch all that happen. Speedy, the real Speedy, Golden Hammer.
The real Speedy, the only Speedy that matters.
Whatever.
All right.
I got a home run.
I got 2.
Okay.
Well, I mean, you got 1, but you scored 2. Right?
I'm counting. Yeah. Well,
And one of them was me, which just puts me
That
above
means you both got 2 points.
Sure.
Technically,
But I got more. Anyways,
more of something.
I got it when it mattered.
whatever.
You hit the game winner, the high drama one.
Yeah. But yeah, my name is Speedy. You can find me everywhere as Not So Speedruns. I don't have too much to promote right now. I haven't really streamed on Twitch in a while. You can follow me on TikTok. I talk about socialism sometimes. Yeah, if you've got any tabletop RPG streams or podcasts coming up, let me know. I could be interested in doing some stuff. And play Back for Blood. I work for Warner Brothers, and I'm super hyped about it. Yeah, that's it. Thank you so much. This was so much fun.
I had a blast. I'm so glad I got to play with all 3 of these people, and you can actually check out Back for Blood here on this Twitch channel for Variety Thursday with me and my childhood friend. So there's that. We're doing it for the 2nd week in a row this Thursday. Time TBD. But yeah, thank you everybody. Check out the Kickstarter. Links in the chat. Send this video to your friends on YouTube tomorrow. So follow me on Twitter for that. VOD will be up tomorrow after I edit out the break and the few minutes that we were off camera at the beginning. Thank you, everybody. Have a good night, and we'll see you soon.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.